Hello, welcome to the Leicester, specifically St Elmo's Fort. I'm going to do half of this facing this way and half facing the other way towards the sea. But the St Elmo's Fort in Valletta, Malta. This was built in 1552. It was the sort of main fortification for the city, used by the French during the siege, and then the English, and then the Maltese during the Second World War. I'm English. So there's been a bit of a gap between my vlogs. Main thing I've been working on is obviously just the application to Edinburgh, which I sort of talked a little bit to last time. What's effectively happened there is that I was applying to do a split bill with various venues, and we got an offer for one of the venues. It's about £2,500. There's some complexity there in terms of, when you go over certain thresholds and the splits and 70-30 splits and what have you, and you've got techies and stuff that are involved, but roughly speaking, that was it. And then I think the costing of that just kind of put me and my partner, comedy partner, I guess in this instance, off. And it's a lot. I think the financials of Edinburgh have shifted over the last few years. When you have pile-on travel and accommodation, this was a full run in a nice, quite central venue, 60-seater. It was a good venue for comedy. But everyone's kind of losing money on these runs, and I think you have to either be doing it to build sort of a bit of a build professionally, but it's not going to be this kind of like, oh, this is what's gonna break you. I think it's for in the same way that for me and this the person I was doing it with, we both just kind of wanted the experience of kind of getting more stage time and those kind of things. And obviously, it's a good way of developing out a show and stuff, but it's it's certainly not the thing that it used to be. And so I think you have to be really considered as to when you do it, whether it's the right thing to do. So ultimately, we decided that we're not going to accept that offer. So that has led to a pivot in terms of my show. And I'm going to do the other bit of this facing the other direction.
What I am explaining here is that my microphone receiver just fell over and broke. So I can no longer get the audio, but it would be a shame to waste this shot. So I just sort of stand here talking and vamping, and touching my nose, and there's a nice ship in the background. But what I'm explaining is that I have signed up to do the Camden Fringe Festival, just one show at 9:30 Aces and Eights on the, let me just check the date, 20th of August. And I'm subsequently going to be applying for a couple of other festivals around that kind of time, between sort of July and September, ideally, in looking at Watford and Manchester, just to sort of roll out the Nothing Really Matters show. Also go out to Edinburgh and just sort of similar to what I did last year, and try and pick up some open spots and stuff. And then I will just kind of try and get a few more sort of full runs out of the show, and then run into Leicester next year and apply for that more rigorously than I did do this year. And then the view is that I will have probably done the show at a few different festivals by that point, kind of felt it out, got the full length of it, and then I'll feel confident enough to just take that show on its own next year, and then I won't be sort of dependent on other people's kind of availability, and I'll have more confidence in just sort of doing the room as I kind of want it, rather than sort of sharing the vision a little bit. Which, pros and cons, right? Would have been nice to have had someone else there to share the highs and the lows with. I'm sure on my own the lows will be much lower, but that's what we're deciding. Oh, and I'm walking off. Anyway, hope you're well. Bye. Next video should be here. Enjoy.